Well, the question of the relationship between Marxism and anarchism is something I've been interested in for a long time. Both my books discuss that as an issue, the relation between Marxism and anarchism. To a great extent, they overlap. They both come out of the socialist and working class movements of the 1840s and 50s and 60s. And both believe in a working class revolution, at least originally, a working class revolution that would replace capitalism and eventuate in a society without the state and without classes and without any form of repression. That was at least the original goals. But over time, each developed in a different direction. It would take too much for me to explain. Marxism is based on the writings of one towering genius. And I think there's both positive and negative aspects of Marxism, progressive, libertarian, democratic sides, and authoritarian sides. And over time, it's mainly the authoritarian sides that have dominated, at least as a movement. It developed first into the pro-imperialist social democracy in the West, which supported World War I and World War II, and then collapsed. There is no longer any parties, the parties that call themselves socialist, labor, whatever, no longer even pretend to be for a new kind of society. And the other side, after that, the attempt to revive Marxism by Lenin, Trotsky, and others resulted in mass murdering Stalinist totalitarian regimes, state capitalist regimes. So there's also disaster. So in practice, Marxism has shown itself not to work very well, which doesn't mean that there aren't useful aspects of the theory and the analysis and so forth. Anarchism was done weaker in certain areas of theory and theory, but nevertheless had more of a clearly libertarian aspect. There were authoritarian sides to anarchism too, which could be discussed, but I discuss further in the books. But its essence, the essential aspect of it, I think, is the belief in the self-management of society, and therefore I think anarchism is... So even though I like certain aspects of Marxism, I identify essentially as an anarchist.